You're watching Fusion's 2016 election night coverage. A long night, to be sure, still awaiting many results. I know that a lot of people are interested in the math and the map, so let me hand things over to my colleague, Andrew Joyce. Andrew?
Thanks, Alicia. Let's just game this out, guys. Let's take a look at what's left for Hillary Clinton, what's left for Donald Trump, what's left for that incredible tie scenario that God only knows what will happen. Let's talk about this elephant in the room right here. Let's caveat this at first. Pennsylvania is now in leans Trump column. Now, most of the outstanding votes are in Allegheny County, which is where Pittsburgh is. And so this could very well flip back to blue at the end of the night. But what do you guys think this means?
I think it means that Hillary Clinton's in trouble. I think it means that pollsters across the United States, both at the national level and local level, really underestimated white resentment. Because that's what this is. Let's be candid. We can talk about the numbers, but every single statistician and every single analyst across the country never would have estimated that this kind of message could have resonated in those kinds of states.
Amen to that. Let's talk about this over here. What do you think is going on in Wisconsin, in Michigan, and what's left for her if she loses either one of these states?
Yeah, so I think the reality is that these states all look a lot the same, right? There's a reason that Wisconsin and Michigan and Pennsylvania are all missing what the initial polls look like in the same way, because they share a lot of the same demographics. And so if you're seeing something happen in Wisconsin, that's a lot of what's happening in Michigan, and that's connected to what happened in Ohio, my home state. And so for Clinton, if she loses Pennsylvania or Michigan, it's over. If she loses Wisconsin, there are a couple of paths. You can imagine picking up something like Arizona.
But that's going to be tough, right?
Right. And that's not likely to happen. Now, I'll be honest. I thought this all along. I always picked Ohio to go red, and I'm an Ohio voter myself. I'm from right outside of Cleveland. I voted in Portage County. And what was interesting to me is I always thought it was fascinating that Ohio seemed to pretty much be in Trump's column for most of the year, but somehow Michigan and Wisconsin and Pennsylvania weren't. And I wondered if it was just going to be an outlier. It appears as though it isn't an outlier, maybe an indicator as to where the rest of those places were going.
Yeah, I think part of it is that in those states, Obama won by greater margins, and there are more Democrats in Wisconsin and Michigan and Pennsylvania than there are in Ohio. And Ohio is much closer to sort of the national average. And so that's why those states were always considered safer, and I think they're going to end up being closer. But it looks like, according to some of these numbers, not closer on the side that folks expected.
So we've gamed out, I think, most of the remaining scenarios left for Hillary Clinton. I think there's one left. Let's say that she gets Pennsylvania and she gets Michigan, but she loses Wisconsin and she loses Arizona down there. Tell me what happens then.
So go back up to the East Coast, and she would need to win New Hampshire and win the 2nd Congressional District in Maine to get to 269. I think the 2nd Congressional District in Maine is unlikely, and some of the trends you're seeing in some of these other states would not serve her well there.
Amen. And we should talk later about some of the weird constitutional stuff that happens if that 269 thing happens. But for now, I think I'll kick it back over to Alicia.
All right, Andrew and company, thank you all so much.